What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Steven Dumeng. Referee Steven Dumeng here to call predictions for UFC 309 in my lovely neck of the woods. Good old New York City, MSG, here in Long Island. But in any case, let's get right to it. We're not going to waste any time. We have the main card opening with Mauricio Ruffy facing off. He's a 10-1 fighter right now against Jaime Yontop, who is 14-4. We saw, the last time we saw Ruffy in action, it was against Jamie Mullarkey with a first round TKO. I mean, this guy's pretty darn savage. He is 1-0 in the UFC. Jaime looks to be getting back on track. He is unfortunately 0-2 in the UFC, having dropped his last two. A split decision and a rear naked choke loss for him. And I'm just going to call, again, I call this stuff down the middle. I went 5-0 at the last card for main card picks. And this is going to be another beating. I think the main card's going to open up with Ruffy by TKO in the very first round. Jaime came in overweight. He's 0-2. I don't see anything here that's going to present anything of a challenge for Ruffy. And I think that Rise, I mean, this guy's being touted as one of the next top fighters, most exciting fighters, and we'll see how that goes. But I do feel he will bring the excitement, he'll bring the fireworks. Ruffy by TKO in the very first round. Moving on, we have some ladies action. Viviane Araujo, 12-6, facing off with Karine Silva, who is 18-4, and she is currently riding a very impressive winning streak. She is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I miscount that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I did not. Referee Steven Dumeng counted the 1, 2, 3 in the pro wrestling world. I'm looking at my stats here. And SureDog, my go-to for MMA stats and whatnot. But in any case, we have this fight, and I see Viviane has been flip-flopping wins and losses for a bit. Actually, she had a bit of a skid there too. Coming off a decision loss, she is winless this year and looking to change that. And will it happen? Will she lose to another person with the same last name? She lost to Natalia Silva. Will she lose to another Silva? I think so. We're going to go with Silva by unanimous decision. It has not looked very good for Araujo. She is 1, 2, 3. She is 2-3 in her last 5. Has not looked particularly good. Silva, like I said, on the other hand, on a 9-fight win streak, and I see that going to 10. I don't think she'll secure the finish. It's going to be a unanimous decision call. Yeah, I look at the stats, and Araujo has only been finished once in her 6 losses, and I don't see a finish here. I'm going with Silva by unanimous decision. Moving on, we have some middleweights throwing down undefeated Bo Nickal, 6-0, against Paul Craig, a step up in competition for Bo, against someone who unfortunately has been just crazy inconsistent in the UFC. 17-8-1 for Paul Craig. He is currently 1-4 in his last 5 fights, and having taken 3 of those by finish, getting knocked out twice and submitted once. In this fight, do I think Paul is going to turn things around? It's wild because his resume is actually pretty darn solid. He has some very credible wins. He defeated Hill. And despite that, he is fighting in another weight class. He's been fighting at middleweight. He used to fight like heavyweight. Bo is hungry. He's going to be looking to prove the doubters because he has a number of detractors. But in any case, I don't see them, I don't see him, I don't see them, gosh, how do I put this one together? Yeah, they're going to keep hating, I guess, because Bo Nickal is going to secure another win, and they're going to be like, oh, da-da-da-da-da. But regardless, you know what they say. Hate is going to hate. Battle. I'm going with Bo Nickal by TKO in the second round. I think he is going to overwhelm Paul in the very first round. Paul will survive, barely, and we will see a TKO finish for Bo in the second round, continuing his undefeated streak and in his career. We have lightweight action, a rematch. We have Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler 2. The very first fight was ridiculous. I mean, what a fight. I expect another match with ridiculousness going on. I mean, Chandler, period, one of the most exciting fighters in MMA throughout time. And Charles himself, another absolutely entertaining fighter. And I guarantee you we're going to see a finish here. I'm going with Charles again. I mean, he defeated Michael Chandler a few years ago by TKO. The last time they met in the second round, he was able to tag him. And, I mean, that was a hell of a fight. Can Michael obviously tag Charles? Yes, I think he still has knockout power. He can certainly stop Charles. I just don't see it happening. Chandler has, despite delivering some of the most exciting fights in a very short UFC tenure, he is 2-3 in his last 5. Again, losing to, I mean, top-tier fighters, of course, but still, losses nonetheless. I think he's not going to be able to get the job done. We're going to see a hell of a fight. Again, this is going to be a banger, but I'm going with Charles by, I think he's going to get the submission this time. I think it'll go late into the second round. I'm going to go with Charles Oliveira by submission in the second round. And, I mean, you know, adding to the fact that Chandler hasn't fought in 2 years. So, you know, that rust pays off. He's not a young fighter. He's 38 at this point. I think those are also factors too. And the reason why I bring that up is because those factors are certainly going to play into our main event heavyweight action. John Bones Jones and Stipe Miocic both finally returning to the octagon. Stipe has not been seen in action in years. I mean, years. I mean, 3 years, I believe. Let's see, 3 years, I think, was the last time we saw Stipe. 20-4. Yeah, he got knocked out, that vicious knockout loss to Francis Ngannou back in 2021. He has been out of action since. John Jones having one fight in that time frame, a quick submission win over Cyril Gane in the very first round. Jones looking to keep the momentum, a legendary career alive, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Stipe is in his early 40s, Jones being the younger fighter, the fresher fighter, having fought more recently. I think those factors absolutely play into it. Will Jones get the finish? I mean, Stipe is a pretty durable guy. I mean, you know, aside from, I mean, in 24 professional fights, he's only been stopped 3 times by guys with some ridiculous power. You know, I know Cormier is not necessarily I mean, Ngannou hits like a Mack truck. Cormier, I believe, hits like a Mack truck. You got to give him credit. And you know, Stefan Struve. So, yeah, okay, maybe I'll take that one back. All right, maybe he hasn't been with the most powerful of strikers aside from Ngannou. But yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you know, Cormier, it does have power. Stefan Struve did have power as well, but certainly not the magnitude that Ngannou has packing. But in any case, I don't think Jones is going to get a knockout finish. I do think Jones will be able to secure a submission win late into the third round. I think there's going to be a big filling out process in the first in the early going, and I think Jones will eventually get a submission win. And there you have it. Let's see if I can repeat another 5-0. Thank you so much. Those are my picks. Stay tuned. As always, visit our friends at 1495 Sports. This has been The Mixer with Steven Dumeng. Thank you for tuning in.